Hello, Ricky video. Today we want to take a look at a Rayquaza in the Ultra League. I did some friendlies against people from Twitter that of course are going to know that I'm going to use my Rayquaza here. Also, if you're wondering about the IVs, I had to trade one because I threw all of mine away that I got from the remote raid, so I had to trade with a friend. As I tried to get all the XL candies as possible, because if you didn't see my video prior for the Open Master League for this Pokemon, where I used a fully XL version, where I used all my rare XL candy, yeah, that's definitely up there on my channel. A very nice video, enjoyed it a lot, as we can take a look today if this Pokemon is as good as well in the yeah, Ultra League here right now. Actually, on paper, this Pokemon looks really good in the Ultra League. If you take a look on PvPoke, this Pokemon wins a lot of matchups, especially in the 1 and 2 shield scenario. Here, my opponent going to forfeit already, very nice for us, but yeah, first game, first good win for us. Next day, we're going to have a Lapras here. So far, very good leads as well. This will change eventually in the sequence of this video. I later on had a lot of bad leads, so we're going to see that as well. And this actually depends, like determines also like a lot of times how the game going to go here. Here we're going to face a Lapras. I'm going to try to catch a charge move here onto my Dragonite. It did not work out. It was maybe not the smartest decision that I ever made. But at least we're going to be able to shield up now the Skull Bash coming in here, which is going to allow us also to go for another charge move here. Scissor coming through, I thought they're most likely going to shield here because one superpower would do a ton of damage, and they're going to shield, allowing me to go for another superpower still though. So this will do a ton of damage if it lands, and it does land, putting them into range where I can farm them down even with my Registeel here. Registeel will be able to take those Night Slashes pretty easily. If you wonder why I didn't go into my Rayquaza, which would have been able to Dragon Tail them down, I would have got way more damage against me there, and here I get some energy easily with that as well. And my opponent tried to run a double bug line here with Pinsir, which is actually a Pokemon that if I had unlimited Stardust, I also would love to try out in the Ultra League. It is not as bad as it looks like. The thing is, if X's are someday going to get boosted or whatever, it would be really good. It has access to close combat as well as superpower as far as I know. So it has amazing coverage as well as a good fast move with Fear Cutter, which generates energy pretty fast. So the Pokemon itself is actually not that bad. It's just like not always the best matchup for it here. We here also, speaking of not the best matchup, we're going to face up against a Regirock here, which is going to be annoying. We're going to try to bait them here that they think that I might just go for 2 superpowers straight back to back, and I'm going to go for the bait first. Now I can go for the superpower, hopefully getting the final shield of the opponent, as we will be able to do that. Getting now also maybe to another one, but nope, they're going to throw before I'm going to let this move go through. They would have got to the next move in time as well, so there's also no real reason for me to shield the move up. We see the opponent going now into a Trevenant, which is not really what I want to see here as well. I'm going to shield up the move, which is going to be now the Shadow Ball, as we will be able to go for one Breaking Swipe, which will hopefully get them into range where I can farm them down. Let's see. It does, doing a lot of damage. I can farm them down now, and they survive with a 1 HP. Is this a Shadow Ball? Let's take a look at it. It's not going to be a Shadow Ball. It's going to be a Seed Bomb, which is going to do basically next to nothing. Debuffed plus double resisted is fine for us. We can take this down here, and we will be able to knock out the opponent. Now it just depends on what they have in the back. Can Registeel win against it or not? This is the question here. It's going to be a Charizard. They went for this Charizard on purpose. They said afterwards they kind of want to troll a little bit around it. This is an Air Slash. I think Flamethrower plus Fire Blast Charizard. For whatever reason I want to play that, we would have won anyway against any Charizard combination there anyway, as we would have one-shot anyone. Blast Burn wouldn't have knocked us out, so like no matter which Charizard they had, we would have won this game. It doesn't really matter what moveset they had there. That was fine. What is also fine is catching a charge move here on our Dragonite. Going to be the resisted Hydro Cannon, but sadly they're going to have another Scissor in the back. Don't know where they're coming from right now, but this Pokemon will be able to do some decent damage against us and will knock us out here. We're going to go ahead, go back into our Registeel, and we will be able to go for one Zapkin here. Kind of thought of undercharging this, but maybe should have done that because it's just barely like too much there. And to be fair, I would have loved to have a little bit more farm. Now I have to go for one charge move, but I'm going to have to shield here as well, as the opponent going to go ahead, go for the Earthquake here. I can go for one Focus Blast still and try to maybe catch the next move onto my Pokemon in the back here, which is going to be my Rayquaza. And we will be able to not catch the move here. They're still going to throw, which means they're most likely weak to me in the back. I just hope that they're not weak to me in the back there as well with the Registeel. I don't know, they're going to stay in here again. going for the Hydro Cannon, and sadly they're going to have a Roserade in the back, which is really bad for me, and no matter what I've done there was no way I could have won this. I mean, I got walled from the beginning, basically, as said. Like, I got a lot of bad leads as well here, but against Roserade, there was nothing I could have done anyway. The fast move does a ton of damage against Rayquaza. Rayquaza is very squishy in the Ultra League. And also, they're going to have access to the move Weather Ball, as you can see here, which is Fire type, which does a lot of damage. So, Roserade, I'm just going to let them farm me down here. I didn't want to wait out longer there by throwing a charge move. The opponent knew that as well, and just farmed me all the way down. Next opponent, we're going to see another Swampert in the lead. Horrible again for us. We're going to have to stay in here for a little bit, try to catch the potential Earthquake on our Dragonite. Let's see if we were able to do that, and we were able to do that. So, goodbye energy there. Very nice to get this on the Dragonite here. As we see that we can go for another charge move here with the Dragon Claw against the opponent's Charizard. As we've lost the lead hard there, I kinda need to realign my Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead, shield this move up. I should be able to see P-tie here, which I think I do. And if I get the shield here, I'm fine. If they're going to shield, I'm fine. They're going to shield, I'll try to get my final shield. But what I can do now is I can farm them all the way down. There is nothing that they can do about this. I can just farm them all the way and I will be able to knock them out. And now a realign with that one. I can even go for another charge move against the Charizard, I want to say, against the Swampert here, getting some more damage on them. And this is looking pretty solid. We have now a switch advantage. We have our Rayquaza against the Swampert, and we're going to see a Mewtwo, a Shadow Mewtwo in the Ultra League. That's kind of wild. I also have one. This actually goes directly to 2500, which is cool. Against us here, let's see how much damage it's going to do here. If they have Focus Blast, they're most likely going to knock me out. It's going to be a Shadow Ball. It does not really do too much damage. I can go for our own Zap Cannon, knock out the opponent's Mewtwo, and basically win this game with that one already here. But so far, it feels like Registeel does the most amount of work. Also, the Dragonite does the most amount of work. It's still, I don't think that the Rayquaza is a bad pick for the Ultra League now. Honestly, I think it's a really decent pick. But I feel like people will never really use that one because just of the less bulk it has. People are more like going towards bulk anyway with everything they pick for Go Battle League. As you see here as well, we have the Registeel at least, which they're going to have crazy bulk, but the rest of the team is kind of fine. As we see the opponent going into a Gallade, like having Gallade in the lead here right now. Not really known for its bulk, but known for its charge moves that are all resisted by both the Rayquaza as well as the Dragonite. Still doing a ton of damage. I don't think I get to the superpower, so I just throw my Dragon Claw here. My opponent didn't know about this, going to shield this move up. No matter what, this shield didn't make sense, because you know that you're going to go up against this Registeel again here. And this Registeel going to be able to get the final shield as well, which is funny. You will never get knocked out even from a Shadow, like even if you're a Shadow Wall Rain. A superpower from a Dragonite does not knock you out, does not knock you into range where you can get a lockout down either. So for them shielding this one didn't really make too much sense. I will be able to go for one Focus Blast there. This will hopefully knock them out. It actually doesn't, so I have 1 HP, which gives me more farm, which is cool. And we see the Gallade coming back in here. We caught one move already. Let's see, we can go for one charge move here right now. This will do some nice damage. It actually does not knock them out, but we can try to catch another move. Didn't work out either, as we face off against the Bishop. Here, again, this is going to be an interesting one, because yes, they're going to be able to resist my moves, but do they really? Like, we're going to do still a ton of damage here, and also this allows us now to take this Iron Head pretty easily, knocking them out now with a Breaking Swipe, and we're still going to have our shield advantage now, which is going to be nice, as we're going to face off against this Gallade, farming them down, winning the game. Good game there. Next opponent, let's see what they're going to run here. We're going to see a Trevenant, I think, in the lead. It was a Trevenant, I remember. Horrible lead, of course, we have to swap out here. We don't have a move to hit this, and we're going to get greeted by a Galarian Stunfisk. Not ideal at all. I thought of baiting them now. I thought of like going for my Dragon Claw, because it was an obvious one that I'm most likely going to go for the superpower here. So I'm going to go still for the superpower, just doing the obvious play, and of course they're going to shield the move up. So for me, most likely should have baited there, because now this move would have done so much more damage. Like, this would have put them into range where I could farm them all the way down. Like this, I won't be able to do that. They're going to go for one charge move. I'm going to have to let this move go through. And I'm also going to try to maybe catch a move on my Rayquaza. That worked out really well for us. as this Earthquake. Gonna go into the void basically here, as we're going to have to shield up the next move though, but it's fine. We're gonna put them into range where I'm most likely going to be even able to lock on them down, which is amazing. We see a Skunktank coming in, we can debuff their attack immediately by going for our Breaking Swipe, going to break them down, as we will be able to hopefully farm them all the way down. I have to hope that they don't get the debuff here in order to have a chance of winning this, so I'm going to shield this move up, and I can farm them all the way down. As we see now the opponent going into most likely their Trevenant, as this is of course their best answer here right now. And they're going to go for that. I'm going to be able to go for the charge move. They're most likely going to shield because it's going to do the most amount of damage. They're going to get the attack drop. I will be able to go for my own charge move here. And now I'm looking pretty decent here, as we will be able to get no defense drop, no attack drop, but they can farm them all the way down, right? Sadly not. This is going to be an Earthquake, and this Earthquake going to put us into range now for one charge move. We are one fast move away from throwing our own charge move, and this was a very close, but sadly not enough to knock them out, and they're going to be able to win this game. Good game there, well played, nothing I can do about this. Next opponent. How about an Obstagoon lead? This is not better either. This, by the way, the main reason why I went for Dragonite as a safe swap here. Obstagoon, I wanted to actually use the Giratina Altered as a safe swap, which is actually really good as well. Especially because Giratina Altered just outbooks most Pokemon. But I was knowing that I'm most likely going to face one Obstagoon anyway, because it's a pretty common Pokemon for a lot of people to use here. So I had to go for something that can deal with it, which with Dragonite that's definitely the case. As we actually face an Ampharos here, which will allow us to go for another charge move here, hopefully getting the final shield of the opponent as well. Let's see, it's going to let this move go through. And we're going to go for a crazy play as well here. We're going to let this first, we're going to shield the first move here. It's going to be a Brutal Swing. I expect them that they have Focus Blast though. It's kind of obvious for the Ultra League that they're going to have that, so we're going to catch the move here onto our Rayquaza. Thanks for the Focus Blast. It's still going to completely destroy the Rayquaza here, which is wild. It's crazy how much damage this still did there. It's also resisted, but of course it's Shadow Ampharos doing a charge move there that does just in general a lot of damage. It's just going to hurt. We're going to see that we're going to knock out the opponent, but of course, what better than a Trevenant to greet us there in the back. We can go for one Zap Cannon here, which is going to get the debuff as well, which is amazing for us, as you can see here now. But we're still not really in a good spot here. They're going to go ahead, go for one Shadow Ball, of course, and maybe if I get another debuff here, I might be fine. Let's see, we can go for one more Zap Cannon here as well. Do we get the debuff? This might put us into a range where we can survive on Shadow Ball. We actually get the debuff, maybe. Maybe we can actually still win this game. Let's see. We're gonna get them low with the lock on. We're going to take this Shadow Ball pretty easily now. And can we get to the move to knock them out? Let's see. We can actually get there, and this is going to knock out the opponent pretty easily here, right? Of course, we lose with like 2 HP on the opponent. But yeah, this is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I wouldn't really recommend you Rayquaza right now. I think it's still a cool Pokemon to use. It's definitely functioning, like you can use it. It's not completely horrible. But yeah, this is going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye. Leave a like.